who's that guy?
He was talking to me about John Carlos at the Blue Gates pub.
Bit dodgy.
Hey, why'd you say that? Hey, don't tell me to be quiet. It's not some church, some temple, all right? It's just a library, all right?
Yeah, man, they're right, you know. You're bloody loud.
Me? I don't do quiet.
All right. So, what did this man say then? The one you're just talking to in the Blue Gates. He said something about that Black Power guy.
Oh, he said the man who did the Black Power salute thing after the 200 metres at the Olympics.
What, London? Ones we just had?
No, man. Another one of them Olympics. A long time ago. I don't know. Anyway.
Mexico 1968.
Yeah. The Mexico Olympics. This guy. Somebody Carlos. This Carlos, when he was a kid, he used to live in Harlem. And he used to run real fast after Malcolm X in the street so as to catch him up. See, after he'd been doing some great speech, he wanted
Hold on.
What?
Harlem? Where's Harlem?
New York, stupid. Don't you know anything?
All right. You don't know so much yourself, innit? Ooh! Pretty sure I got something to do. What was it? Shit, man.
Language. Can I help you at all?
No.
Oh.
So, what's so important about this Carlos guy? He a friend of Malcolm X?
John Carlos?
How do you know that?
It's not magic.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, this John Carlos, he was a great man himself, of course.
Why?
You really don't know anything, do you?
Not about flaming 1986, I don't.
1968.
See?
The Mexico Olympics, when John Carlos and Tommy Smith made their famous protest. It was 1968.
That's even worse. 1968. It's 44 years ago. How am I supposed to know about that, eh? It's only born in 94. Wait, 1968? That's the year my dad was born. We're talking ancient history here.
Well, anyway, John Carlos was a famous runner and a real fan of Malcolm X.
Come in. See?
Oh, yeah, right. See, he won the bronze in Mexico. And the other black athlete
Tommy Smith.
won gold by setting a new world record. Imagine that. Carlos was third, yeah? But only because his black brother was the fastest man in the world.
Like Usain Bolt.
Heroes. They were heroes. They stood up there and spoke to the world. Didn't do them no good neither. They got into terrible trouble. And the other man, the Australian, what he called, Kamala? You got the computer. What was the white athlete called?
Oh, here it is, here. Peter Norman, he won silver.
Never mind about him. I thought we came here because of this Malcolm X. You said that John Carlos used to run after him in New York because he was so important.
That's right. Well, I know that Malcolm X used to live in America. Then he travelled. Went to Cuba, to Mecca, to Africa. Went all over the world. Then here's the weird part. Then he came here.
What? Here? Smethwick.
Yeah, Smethwick. He came here because he wanted
Man, you must be wrong. Your friend in the Blue Gates is selling porkies. He'd never come to this town. Smith.
Why not? He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, why'd you say I'm lying?
Well, it's so bloody boring, innit? A rubbish place like Smethwick. Too boring for anything important to happen.
But now you're just talking like a kid. So you don't like the place, so you're unhappy here.
It's easy for you, missus. You've got a job. I left school last year. I've got nothing, no work. Living at home with mum, dad and the brats.
But it doesn't mean that you can't have some pride in where you live. Look, it's really quiet today and my boss is in one of those meetings. Hey, Mel, should we play our little game?
Oh, yes.
Right. Okay. Things Smethwick should be famous for.
Yes.
I give you the first Sikh temple in Britain, the Guru Nanak Gurdwara, right here on the High Street.
I give you the longest one-span metal bridge in the world when it was built, the Galton Bridge.
Yes, the Golden
Hey,
Bridge.
hey, you mustn't do that in here. This isn't archives.
Oh, well, you know, it's only us here and we're not disturbing anyone, are we? No. I give you the 3 degrees, not the singers, but the famous footballers, Batson, Regis and Cunningham. Hey, they're going to have a statue soon.
Albion doesn't count.
No.
It's West Brom. I give you the singer, Jamelia.
Oh, yes. Oh, and how about Andrew Folds, once MP of the town, who was an actor and fought skeletons in Jason and the Argonauts.
I give you Sri Krishna Mandir, an enormous temple opened by David Miliband and not his little brother with the adenoids.
Sorry, Mel. Doesn't count. West Brom too. Back to you.
Okay. I give you the famous Chance's Glassworks, makers of the Eddystone light.
Yeah, nice one. And how can we forget Soho Foundry, home to James Watts's world famous engines.
I give you star of Mamma Mia and Harry Potter, Julia Walters, expelled from Holly Lodge School just up the road. She says she isn't naughty anymore.
Ooh, talking about bad behaviour, what about that Smethwick spy that plotted to kill Rasputin, the mad Russian monk? Tell you what, he had it coming, didn't he?
Well, murder is always wrong, no matter who it is.
Hey,
Oh.
Things to play.
you forgot Frank Skinner. He lived on the same road as me mum.
Well done.
Frank Skinner, see? You do know something interesting about Smethwick.
Yeah, well, how do you know so much?
Ooh.
You're not teachers.
Oh, so that means we're stupid, eh?
We just know where to look.
Yeah, all right, but I don't think any of what you said's very interesting.
What? You're not interested in any of that?
Oh.
If you're not interested in any of that, you ain't interested in life, stupid boy.
It's all in the past, not now. Not me.
But you are the past.
Hey?
Well, maybe you will be. Remember, there are people being born here today.
Yes, Sandwell General.
Exactly. Who may be famous, you know, important for something. Hey, maybe one day you will be famous and we'll have information in here, in the archives, about you.
Stop it, will you? Stop all this stupid stuff. I came here to find out about somebody who is famous, not this toe rag.
All right.
What have you got on Malcolm X? Show it me, and show it me quick.
Show the man, girl. Show him.
First of all, 2 things.
What?
Manners. I don't have to show you anything. Remember that. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
You got... Oh.
And the other thing?
You need to be more precise.
What do you mean, precise?
Well, we have lots and lots and lots of information about Malcolm X.
Where? I can't see it. Where is it? All this information. Listen, archives lady. Where are you hiding it?
We don't hide things here. Right? Okay? Okay, look. I guess you want to know why he came here and where he went to and who he spoke to and what he said.
Yes. I know some of those things already.
Look, you only found out about any of this 2 minutes ago. You can't go in the blue gates 5 minutes, come out like you're somebody on Mastermind.
Exactly, that's why I need you to be more precise. I need to know what you know already, and then we can try and find out the things that you don't know.
Eh? What are you talking about?
Look, if you want to know specifically about Malcolm X himself, I don't know, where he was born or where he went to school or when he went to Mecca and that time he was invited to Oxford.
What? He spoke to those posh boys at Oxford?
Yeah, the Oxford Union, the debating club. Well, anyway, look, we can use the internet for that. Anyone can Google. But if you want to find out specifically about when he came here to Smethwick, well, you've come to the right place because we have some information that is special to this archives.
What have you got?
Well, as well as the TV programmes, we've got the actual local newspaper, the Smethwick Telephone, we've got the original leaflets from the election from that year, and we've got the scrapbook. Here, catch. I'll give you some information to look at. Right. Churchfield, no. Where We Dream, no. For King and Country, Philanthropy, and no. Here it is, look. Some records of Smethwick. Have a look at this. And if we go over to the local history section, just over here, I've got a book, the 50s too early, 55 too early, 60s. Here it is. This book here, Joe Russell's Smethwick. This has got some really interesting photos and information. Have a look at that. And if I'm correct, I've got something on this computer as well. Right. Okay. Step this way. Come on. Have a look at this. This is the ITV news programme from 1964 and it talks about Marshall Street and it's just up the road from here.
So, why is Marshall Street so important?
Well, for one reason, it's the place in Smethwick Malcolm X specifically came to. And also, well, if you listen, I guess you'll be able to find out.
Oh, what's this guy like? So up himself. And this is Marshall Street.
Shh! I'm trying to listen.
Alright, chill out.
Late afternoon and in the evening, children dashing around, shouting, playing, crying. The tenants of these flats in Smethwick have written to the...
What you reading?
A book?
That's obvious, isn't it? Go on, what you reading?
Do you mean what is the book about? Do you really want to know?
Nah, not really.
Well, I'll tell you anyway. It's about a great and glorious glassworks, perhaps the most important in the world. People say it had its glass in every lighthouse, on every wild coast, around the globe.
Lighthouses.
The beam, foolish boy, the light at the top of the building, protecting sailors from storm and wreck. You need to have a very special type of glass for a lighthouse light.
So who were these people? The glasshouse lot. Where they make these lighthouses?
Not whole lighthouses, just the special bevel lenses for the big lamps. And they made plate glass windows for shops like Regent Street in London, and stained glass for churches, and little lenses for microscopes, and all the glass for the Crystal Palace.
That's a football team. A rubbish one, not like the Baggies.
Long before the football team was created, way back in 1851, there was a brand new building made in London. It was made of glass and iron, looked like a great big conservatory. And all the glass and all the ironwork came from here, from Smethwick. The glass came from a firm called Chance's. And that's what I'm reading about.
How do you know that? I mean, I've lived here all my life, 18 years, like, and I didn't know any of that.
18 years.
Oh, here, man. Come and see this. It's on the telly about how these people in Marshall Street in 1964 were trying to stop black people from getting houses there.
Some people. It doesn't say that everyone felt the same.
Yes, but you heard the man who did the interviews. You heard what those people he spoke to were saying.
Hey, wait a minute. I do remember something. My dad told me the man who got elected at the time had a downer on black and Asian people.
Right.
There were some other people. The Tory council, that's it. They talked about buying up property on Marshall Street so it couldn't be sold to black families.
Right. This over here is the Smethwick telephone for that year, and I've also got some information, I think, over here. Ah, and these documents over here are about the housing policy controversy in Marshall Street, see?
Oh, that business.
What business?
Well, you have to be very careful what you say about people who are still alive. You see, Smethwick was a safe Labour seat. Then the election came, and the Conservative candidate, Peter Griffiths, it is said, benefited from a lot of racist rubbish. It is said that his supporters, not the man himself, mind you, but his supporters used a slogan that would be illegal today.
What do you say?
Well, his supporters are supposed to have said, and I saw it. It was certainly written on walls and things. His supporters are supposed to have said, if you want a nigger for a neighbour, vote Labour.
What?
Yes.
They said that?
Yes.
Disgusting.
Like she said, they can't prove nothing. It's only what the people who were there reckon the Conservative men's supporters were saying. A rumour. That's no rumour. Gets me so mad!
Hey! Watch our furniture. Calm down. Okay? Alright, look. Take a look at this. This is the TV reporting about Malcolm X when he came to see Marshall Street. See?
Why did he come here?
Ah, I can tell you about that. Right, so Malcolm X was in Paris and they asked him to leave. So unexpectedly, he came here to Britain.
Why they ask him to leave?
Well, he was a very controversial figure. You need to understand. You see, some people admired him, but many people feared him, hated him, said he was a bad and dangerous man.
Why?
Well, they say that he advocated violence, that he was actually anti-white, that he was a black supremacist, if you know what I mean, very different from Dr. King.
What? Martin Luther King, the preacher.
Yes, him.
How was he any different?
Well, Dr. King was an integrationist. He believed that black Americans were being oppressed, but that if things changed, people could live together. Remember the line in that famous speech, "I have a dream."
And about little black boys and black girls walking hand in hand with little white boys and white girls in Alabama.
Yes. Well, when Malcolm X started out, he seemed to see things differently. He seemed to be saying that maybe black and white people should maybe live apart.
What? Like the apartheid in South Africa?
Yes, but he changed his views so much towards the end of his life.
How did he change his views?
Look, I've got to go and do the flowers at church. I should have been there 10 minutes ago. There's such a lot that could be said. I don't have the time. Kamla can help you better than me. I better go.
I still don't understand why Malcolm X came to Smethwick.
Okay, look. Malcolm X, when he came to Britain, there was a man who used to work in the old coal cast factory, and his name was Avdar Johal, right?
An Asian?
Yes, an Asian. You know, Asians were being treated just as bad as black people, you know. Well, anyway, this Avdar Johal, he asked the IWA, you know the IWA, right?
The Indian workers. They used to be very big round here. My dad knows about them.
Right, well done. So he asked the IWA to invite Malcolm X here to see Marshall Street and support the black and Asian people that lived here.
And he did that. He came all this way to this place and he talked about us.
He did. And And he said something really in your face, shocking actually. Where is it? Ah. Here, read that.
I've heard reports that the coloured people in Smethwick, coloured people,
Mm-hmm. That's what they used to say back in those days. Things have changed, eh?
are being treated badly. They are being treated as the Jews under Hitler. I would not wait for fascist element to erect gas ovens.
And his enemies said he was anti-Semitic. The man that said that was no anti-Semite. And his ideas were changing so fast then. Maybe that's why some men felt betrayed. And killed him. Shot him dead. He was saying things like, what was that bit that he said in Oxford, Kamala?
Which bit, ma? I thought you had flowers to do.
There it is. He said, I don't care what colour you are, as long as you want to change the miserable condition that exists on this earth. I don't care what colour you are. Man wasn't anti-white, anti-Jewish. He was an internationalist.
And a great man.
He came all this way to Smethwick to see us.
Just let me give you two some advice. Don't hero worship. It always ends in tears.
Mel! Mel!
Is she upset or something?
Yes, I think she is.
Why?
I don't know. I think she knows something that she isn't telling us.
Like what?
How should I know?
You know everything you do, you and that old woman.
Old woman? She does have a name, you know. It's Melrose. Mel. And me, I'm Kamala. Cam to my friends, right? So guys, look, I hope you've found all of this useful. You're lucky it was quiet today. Goodness knows what I would have done if it was busy. But anyway, I'm going to have to get on now, so leave you to yourself. Leave it to your own devices, okay?
Well, I haven't seen everything yet. I've got lots of questions. I'm Will.
Hey, Will.
And this is my mate, Surinder.
Hi, Surinder. Look, Will, I'm sorry. I'd love to help more today, but I just can't. You know, we're understaffed and I'm doing 2 jobs at once. And when the archivist comes back, she will have expected me to do some cataloguing. I haven't even started yet. Can you come back tomorrow?
Yeah, man. Let's do what she says. Let's go, eh? Pretty sure got something to do. Definitely wasn't in this place.
It's no use. He's brought it all back.
What has Mel?
The pictures, the television.
Malcolm X?
Yes,
Oh.
the election. That horrible business about keeping black people out of Marshall Street.
Come and take a seat, look.
That nasty Tory council. Thank you. It's as if I was 12 years old again.
What? You were there when this happened?
Yes. But you've got to understand, I was just a schoolgirl in pigtails. And he was so tall, 6'3", they said. And good looking in a stern kind of way. He'd long ago converted to Islam, been on the Hajj. And of course, when you're a child, 39 seems really old. And then there was my brother. He was more into politics and he knew a lot more. And I was just a little kid bunking off school.
So what happened? Why are you so upset, Mal?
And how come you know so much about what he looks like? You didn't meet him.
No, not exactly. But I saw him. All those years ago, in sleepy old Smethwick. I saw Malcolm X. And then, just 9 days later, in America, so soon after he was here, he was dead.
Oh, Mel, are you okay?
Yes.
That TV programme we saw earlier, you know, about Malcolm X on Marshall Street, it never broadcast. It was the last interview with him they ever recorded.
What happened?
Well, what I heard was that in the last year, after he broke with the Brotherhood, he started to see that the struggle was against oppression of all peoples. He didn't talk then about black supremacy like his enemies said.
That's right. That's right. He talked about working together. That's what he did. He said something. I've got something about this here. What was it he said? Let's have a look. Here it is. See? He said he wanted a global rebellion of the exploited against the exploiter. Right? Yes. All sorts of people agreed with him. People from different races. People from across the globe. So 4 years after Malcolm X died, and your John Carlos and Tommy Smith made that Black Power salute at the Olympics, they were joined. They were joined by that Australian, what was his name? Peter...
Why does it matter what he was called?
Because he won silver that day, remember? He was the second fastest man in the world that day.
He beat your John Carlos.
So, why is Peter Norman so important? He wasn't black, and he didn't do the salute like John and Tommy did.
Yeah, okay, that's a really good question. Look, if we look at the picture again, see? If you look at the picture again, we can see two black men standing up with one arm in the air.
But look more closely. They're using a different arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they both planned to take their black gloves with them to the podium. And one of them forgot, so they both didn't have a pair.
Exactly. So Peter Norman, he knew exactly what they were going to do, and he supported them. So he suggested that they share gloves, right? So Tommy Smith took the right glove, put it on his right hand, and raised that arm. John Carlos took the left glove, put it on his left hand, and raised that arm.
And later on, Tommy Smith explained that he felt his raised fist was not just a Black Power salute, it was a human rights salute. And all three men wore Olympic Project for Human Rights badges.
How do you know that? It's like having a history lesson with you two.
Well, let's just say some mutual interest of ours.
Yeah.
And like Amna said, you don't have to have a brain like a computer if you've got a real computer.
Yeah, and you don't mind spending some time trying to find stuff out for yourself.
And you know what brings a tear to my eye? When he died, Peter Norman, both John Carlos and Tommy Smith travelled all the way to Australia to attend his funeral and to show their respect for their white friends. The two men helped to carry his coffin. A fine gesture. Fine men.
Oh, I just remembered. I've got to be at college. I've got an interview.
Bruv, I thought you were supposed to be good at maths. You can't even remember a date.
Oh, come on, Will. My uncle said if I get a BTEC, he'll give me a job. Where's the car? Drop me off.
Round up my girlfriend's.
Right, let's go then.
Nothing in the tank.
Hey.
You want to go to college, you're gonna have to buy some petrol.
Mate, you know I'm skin.
Oh, and I'm not. No, man. Money up front. £5. A fiver, or you're not going anywhere.
£5? You vampire, it's only West Brom.
Smethwick High Street to the new college. Sounds fair to me.
Get a taxi for that.
You are getting a taxi. Me. So come on. Give me the cash and we can dash. Give me the cash and we can dash. Give me the cash and we can give me the cash and we can dash. Give me the cash and we can dash.
Idiot.
Very good, very good.
So when is this thing?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Who do you think I am, Lewis Hamilton? I've got to get the car and get some petrol. If you don't give me the money now and shut up, you're going to be so late.
I don't have that much. I'm a NEET, remember? Not in education, not in employment, not in training, meaning not in the money. The DSS don't want to know.
Here, child. I will lend you the money.
Oh, yes.
Never be late for an interview. It don't look good.
Thanks, Mal. Will, come on.
Hey! You're not telling me when I get it back. You get that job with your uncle, I'll be round for it. Don't think I don't mean it. £5 a lot of money for a poor old woman.
Well, they like, eh? And how much petrol are they going to get for a fiver?
Well, it'll get them there and back easy.
Yeah. They're not such bad lads, are they?
But I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know their families. Do you?
No, I'm a West Brom girl, me. I don't know anyone from Smethwick. Gosh. But they were pretty into Malcolm X, weren't they?
Yes.
Oh, and it's good to see people finding out about the past now.
I wonder what he would make of it all, eh?
How do you mean?
Well, what if that door were to open and Malcolm X were to be standing there?
Oh, Mel, don't. That's giving me goosebumps.
What if you and I were to go out that door and up the road to Marshall Street and see him standing there, so tall and serious? Such a lot has changed since he was here, huh? A lot for the good, but it's not all sweetness and light. Is it coming?
Oh, you mean about the BNP and things? Hey, I thought they'd given up on the council.
Well, let's just say they don't have any seats on the council. But neither has anybody else. Labour has scooped the pool.
Not sure that's always a good thing.
Hey, hush your mouth. They're the ones keeping this archive open, ain't they?
No, Mel, I won't hush my mouth. Times are hard. Every council is counting every penny. Archives are struggling like they've never struggled before.
Are you worried then for your job, honey?
No. Well, I hope not. I just think this is an important place. I mean, look at all this information we have. It's all the things that we can show people. Look.
Oh, yes. Like Ruskin's beautiful oxblood pottery and Tanguy's powerful pumps and Florence Cam still making stained glass when she was 90.
Absolutely everything. This is a hell of an important town, Mel.
Yes.
I mean, just take the elections, for example. What was it? I've got something on this here. Look. See, in 1918, that famous suffragette Christabel Pankhurst, she nearly became the first woman MP here.
Yes.
And in the 30s, it was that Oswald Mosley.
Yeah, fascist nutcase.
And in 45, that poor old Labour bloke, what was his name?
Dobbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he got elected one day and then died in a car crash the next.
That's right. Which meant that they had to have another election, and Patrick Gordon Walker was MP here for 20 years. But in 1964, he lost his seat to that creature, Griffiths. You know, girl, you do a good job here, you know.
Thank you.
Taking care of the past so that people can have a future. They make you archivist one day, huh?
I'm not holding my breath.
Oh, I should be at church doing the flowers. Oh, I didn't get much work done today.
You didn't, no.
Never mind, darling. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for
Take
coming.
care then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Hello. Oh, good, you're back. Yeah, it was quiet, really. Well, actually, Mel came in like she normally does. Yeah. Is it okay if I go for lunch? Yeah? Okay. Yeah? No, that's fine. Okay, thanks. Bye.